Yeah. Let's do it. Wait, what happened to my music? See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is like it was just working. Oh my God. Well, welcome to live frickin', this is what happens when you do stuff live. I just tested it. Everything was working great. And then all of a sudden now it's not working. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, none of this makes sense, man. None of it. Like, what is going on here? Okay. Got that plugged in. We're going to make it work. I mean, I just tested it, What? Oh, my God, dude. What? Well, welcome to Riffin with Griffin, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. It is what it is. It's always something. It's always something here at Riffin with Griffin Studios. Hello. Well, we got the singing mic is working. You know what I mean? Singing mic is working. Let's see if we got the music. Music is not working. I don't understand what happened. I mean, it literally was just working just fine. So, I don't know. Really, just really utterly annoying. But anyways, welcome to Riffin with Griffin. How y'all doing? We're doing it live. I like doing it live because it's easier for me to do it live, especially if I don't have a guest. And then, it challenges me to be on point with my takes and the things that I want to talk about. And, and here we are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it won't work. And I don't know why it won't work. I don't know why it's not working, y'all. Like super frustrating, especially because it was just working. Like it literally was just working. I don't understand why it's not working. And this is why you need I guess this is why you need producers and stuff like that. You know what? We're just going to do it like this. We just going to do it like that. Welcome to Riffin with Griffin. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good enough. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I literally do not know what happened. I don't know how to make it work. I have this cord right here. Like this cord, it hooks up to my TC whatever a thon thing, and it usually works. It was just working. I don't know why it stopped working. I have no idea why it stopped working. It literally doesn't make any sense to me. But, it is what it is. So, oh well. That's what happens when you do a live podcast. Anything can happen. I just unplugged it. I plugged it back in. You know what I mean? I mean, the mic works, which is crazy. Hello. That works. But, I don't know why. And then, I'm getting that. I get the sound, I plug it in, and it just doesn't work. It's not going through, and I don't know why it's doing that, so who knows? Maybe I'll restart my phone so I can get the end. When I do the end, it'll work. But anyways, welcome to Riffin with Griffin, y'all. Man, what a week, Last week, with all the drama, with everything was going on in the podcast world, I don't know. I let it affect me more than it should have. I did a Patreon episode. And by the way, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing to Riffin with Griffin. So please hit the subscribe, hit the share button and all that stuff. Hit the notifications so you know when I'm going live and all that. So I appreciate you. And I also, I'm on Twitch a lot. So, I'm a Twitcher. Daddy is a gamer. So make sure you check me out on that. I game. So on Twitch, Erik Griffin Gaming. So check me out there. Appreciate that. And if you are interested, I'm doing some extra content on the Patreon. So if you want to join the Patreon, the link's down below. It's just Patreon, Erik Griffin. So I do stuff there, and how I do that is I go live on Twitch, subscriber only. So if you're a subscriber on my Twitch, you're going to get that content. If you're a Patreon member, you're going to get that content. Or if you're a YouTube member, you also will get that content. So like if you're a YouTube member, if you want to do that, sign up, to YouTube. You can be on there too, and I will you'll get that content also, that extra content. So I appreciate you. You want to support me, support the show. I'm enjoying doing this. Shout out to my new producer, Kristen Espinoza. She is helping me with like a lot of my social media content, putting this stuff out, getting the podcast out. I'm going to restructure how I'm going to do this, eventually have guests, but I'm streamlining this more other than this stupid, like again, when these kind of things happen, I don't know why it happens. I literally don't know why that happened. Like literally the music was just, I tested it and then I went live, and the moment I went live, it didn't work. But anyways, welcome back. So last week there was a bunch of drama, as you know. I won't go into it. I actually didn't want to talk about it, but I was talking to my therapist, and it was just like, it was more about me. I was talking about my therapist for me, about like what I like to do, what I like to talk about, and my own issues, And I do recommend therapy, because when you go to therapy, you start talking to, you really start to like, this person understands patterns and behavior, and you think that you're okay. You think oh no, I'm fine. And then you start to realize, oh man, that actually is an issue, and you can start to recognize it. So I recognized something with this, when it came to that drama with the podcasters and the podcast drama, I started to see like, why was it affecting me? And I started to ask myself, I wonder why it was affecting me. And I started talking to my therapist about it, because it really was bugging me. And what was bugging me is like, this loud minority of people who were like sort of attacking me, like, hey, support your friend, like bringing me into this, like as if I owed them an explanation. And why did that affect me? And it just goes to like being a people pleaser, like, so then you start to ask yourself, like, am I trying to please these people? Or, it's like, or then you start to go like, why am I in the middle? Am I in the middle of certain things because I don't want to ruffle any feathers? Or am I in the middle and that's just what it is? Or am I in the middle because I don't want to take a stand? Or, you know what I mean? You start to question. So I had to ask myself that. And it was like, no, when I look back on it, I'm not necessarily in the middle. I just have an opinion about how I feel both sides are handled the situation, and I have my own opinion about what I like and don't like, and I can support both of my friends and feel good about it. And so I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good with where I am with it. I think the whole thing is being handled terribly. This the kind of stuff, all this business shouldn't be out like this, and that's how I feel about it. So I think it's unfair to everybody, and I'm okay with where I am with it, and it's a 0 Fs. I care about it now. Now I realize like it doesn't matter. So like the people that are still attacking me and stuff like that, now I'm just kind of like brushing off your shoulders, because now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, I know how I feel, and I'm okay with how I feel, and I don't care what anybody thinks about where I'm at, because it doesn't really matter. People are gonna have their own opinion, so it is what it is, and I don't owe anyone but myself and the people that I care about. Those are the only people that really matters how I think. So, it was something to think about. It really was something to think about. It'd be like, ooh, it's like, because then I started to think about my comedy. I started to think like, I don't necessarily have a middle of the road with my comedy. I take like strong stands in my comedy. So that made me, I looked at that and I was like, okay, good. Cause I want to make sure that I'm putting my point out. And sometimes I ruffle feathers with people. They don't agree with what I say. And so if you don't, not everyone's going to agree with you. So you have to be okay with that. That's the thing about doing comedy. Like, you're going to say something and there's going to be people who are going to be like, oh, you're wrong. And unfortunately, it's always the loud minority of people. It's always the ones that have some like visceral reaction, but they a lot of times they misunderstand you, or they take their own approach and then they attack you. It's always the negative people that attack you. The positive people just watch. The positive people will just go, they agree in silence. And you have to remember that. And I do appreciate when those type of people actually go out of their way to go, hey man, I see you getting a lot of negativity. I just want you to know I appreciate you and blah, blah, blah. So thank you for those people that reach out. But, but I'm just working on my own thing. So it was good to, like talk it out with my therapist just to make sure I was like, above board with my thoughts, make sure that was I being too affected by this like small drama from people that were just hitting. I realized it was just an annoyance. People annoy you on the internet because they go. And it's just like, but actually, I got rid of a lot of that because like I said last week, if you send me a message that I feel is just out of bounds, out of pocket, rude, distasteful, disrespectful, on Instagram, it goes restrict, remove follower, hide story. And then when your message comes up, it comes up like restrict. If I see the word restrict, I just delete, and I never see it. I'll never see it again. So, and there are some people, I'm sure that maybe they thought they were being funny or whatever it is like that. I'm never going to see your messages again. On Twitter, I just mute them so they can still talk and talk and talk, but I'll never see it. So that's just how I handle that. I'm not a blocker. I don't think it's blocking people. They give them too much power. You block somebody, then they're like, "Oh, he blocked me," and then they always screen cap that. You know what I mean? Then they put it up like, "Look who blocked me," and then, as if they, I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of energy expended, but I like when everybody wins. When somebody is restricted, they still think they can send you messages. So they're getting all that energy out. I just never see it, but they feel good about it for themselves that they did something. I told him off. So they win. The people on Twitter, they're muted, so I never see it, but it's out there for them. So they win, and then I win because I don't care, and I don't have to see it. So it is what it is. So, and then, people always say that just stay off Twitter. I like social media. I like being on social media. I like interacting. I like tweeting things. I like seeing things. And so it is what it is. I don't know what else to do in terms of that. So, I'm not going to not do that. So that's just, where it is with that, So let's see if the music works. I restarted my phone. I think that might have been the thing. So I just want to check it out and see if it still doesn't work. Then I know I have to do something else. There it is, y'all. Whoo! Late intro. Thank you for watching your favorite podcast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Riffin. Okay, we got it in. I just like doing that, It's not a podcast unless I get to sing it in, right? Okay, so today we got a lot to talk about. So let's start it off with the NBA playoffs, y'all. Let's start off with the NBA playoffs. Wow, I haven't talked about the NBA in a little while. I got a poll up right now. Who you think's going to win the championship? So let me know for all you NBA fans. Final four, we got Miami, Boston, we got Golden State and Dallas, and they all have incredible stories. And so whoever wins is going to have a tremendous story, and even individual accomplishments. I think it's great. So let's just go down the line here. So, first up, Miami versus Boston. So Miami was the number 1 seed, and I don't think they're getting a lot of respect for that. I think that people are just kind of letting it go by the wayside. They don't have a lot of flashy names on their team. The main guy they have is Jimmy Butler, and I don't think people look at Jimmy Butler as like he's not a flashy star. You know, Jimmy Butler's not, but even though he's in a bunch of commercials and he's like, you know, he's out there, there's just something about Jimmy Butler that it's not like Steph Curry, LeBron James, or even Jason Tatum. It's something that's like right below that in terms of his persona, that he's not projecting that superstar thing, even though, you know, in the bubble he was in the championship and he was going shot for shot with LeBron. He had a couple of 40-point games, and, you know, he was trying his best to as the 5th seed to win the championship. So they have a lot to prove. They're trying to prove that wasn't a fluke. We deserve to be in the championship, and here we are. Yeah, he's got no sizzle. For the people in the chat, somebody said that, and I totally agree. Jimmy Butler's lacking the sizzle, but it doesn't mean he's lacking the game. So Jimmy Butler is a monster. You know what I mean? He's averaging 28, 7, and 5 in the playoffs right now. So he is ready. He is raring to go. So I think that Miami has a good story. Again, they want to prove that they deserve to be in the championship. They want to prove that they're and they are a great franchise. If you think about it, when they had Dwayne Wade and Shaq, they went to the championship. They had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, they went to the championship. And then they went to the championship again with Jimmy Butler, and here they are again. So Miami's one of those storied franchises that goes to the championship, whether we like it or not. It is what it is. So congratulations to Miami for making it that far. So that's a story, but to me, that's the number 4 story in the playoffs. That would be the least exciting story for me. If Miami won, it would just be like, okay, good for the people of Miami. I'm not excited about it. I'm more excited about Boston. I'm actually picking Boston to win this series. I like what Boston is doing. Boston, unfortunately, ran into LeBron James for a couple of years while Jason Tatum was in his early 20s, but they got to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times, and they just went up against a better opponent, right? They went up against a superstar. So here they are again. So let's look what they did. First round, they go up against the Nets, who was favored to beat them. They sweep them. Jason Tatum shows himself to be a superstar, right? Going to the next round against the defending champs, the Milwaukee Bucks. That goes 7. Jason Tatum has like a couple of games where it didn't go his way, but if you look at the stats, when he scores over 25, they win. So it all goes on Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum plays well. They won against the Bucks, and they did. Giannis had a game where he had like 40 and 20, 40 points, 20 rebounds. Jason Tatum had 46 points, and they won that game. They eventually won that series. I think Chris Middleton not being with the Bucks was a huge letdown for the Bucks. They needed that extra star. They just didn't have enough to go up against the best defense in the league in the second half of the league of the season. The Celtics had the best record, and they had the best They had the best defense going into the second half of the season and in the playoffs. They play really great defense. They are a great team. They play team defense, and they have a superstar, and then they have another guy who has superstar talent in Brown. And they just have a bunch of great role players and scorers. So I think they're just a really complete team, and I think it's going to be a great series. It's probably going to go 7, but I do think that the Boston Celtics are the better team. I'm pulling for them, and that's just a great story. This is what's on the line right now is Jason Tatum as a top 5 player in the NBA. Jason Tatum is like, hey, consider me the best player in the league. That's what he's going for right now. He's got that kind of talent. He got that kind of game. He's 24 years old. He got 40-point game ability at any particular time, and I think he's going to showcase that in this to go to the championship. So they got a lot to prove. I think it's a great story. They got a new coach. Homeboy, I forgot his name, but, another African-American coach, first-year coach, doing the damn thing. People bought into his system of playing defense, playing as a team, and letting the stars be stars and facilitate as well as playing defense. They shut Kevin Durant down. You understand what I'm saying? Like, one of the greatest players of all time did not look good in that first round. Shut him down. So that's the kind of defense that they're playing. And a lot of times Jason Tatum was on him, and they did the same thing. So I'm curious to see if the Celtics are going to do the same thing to the Heat. Like, are they going to decide we're going to shut Butler down, and we're going to let Tyler Hero and these other guys do what they do? I have a feeling that that's how they're going to do it, so we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be a fantastic series. I think the game's on right now, actually. So look out for that series, and I'll be talking about the playoffs moving forward. Okay, in the other side, we got the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. Now, Dallas Mavericks, they found another Euro sensation. You know, this Euro trash. I say that lovingly, though. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just like always calling European players Euro trash, especially when I'm at the game. Would you stop this Euro trash? But Luka is the truth, man. The dude is for real. He just don't look like it. He looks slow and lumbering, but man, in these 4 games, he's averaging a playoff like 35, 37, 38 points a game. It's something crazy like that where he's in line with Jordan and LeBron James for the most points scored in the playoffs, especially in closeout games. The dude is a monster. He's carrying Dallas. And for him, and he's also the youngest player to be doing it like this. He's only 23 years old, I believe. And he's on the verge of going to the championship, putting himself, like, just to put it in context, Jordan and LeBron were 27 years old when they first got their team to the championship. So Luka is balling. And Jason Kidd, as a first-year coach with them, has changed the culture there, shown himself to be an excellent coach. Kudos to him. Probably should really be coach of the year in retrospect when you look at everything. But, you know, it is what it is, especially because Monty Williams got just demolished. The Suns just looked so terrible. Dallas just took them out. It was crazy. But kudos to Dallas. That would be a pretty good story if Dallas wins the championship. I just think Dallas is a boring franchise. So it's not what I would want to see, but I totally get if they win the championship. It would be like, wow, that would be great. Luka would vault himself up to being like the best player in the league. It would be like you would have to look at him like that. Giannis, Luka, LeBron, KD, you would have to look at him like that because of what he is doing. So kudos to that story. Now, to me, the best story in the playoffs, it would be the Golden State Warriors winning the championship. Now, I am a Golden State Warriors hater because I'm a Clippers fan. I love the Clippers, and I hated that we couldn't get past Golden State in the Lob City era. We just couldn't get past them. It was always injuries. Chris Paul getting hurt, Blake Griffin getting hurt. We couldn't get past those. And so, you know, and then Doc Rivers choking it away with his, 3-1 losing self. You know what I mean? So I'm a Golden State hater. But I will say this. I am pulling for Golden State because I like the story. So year 1 of Golden State winning the championship, not only did every starting point guard in the Western Conference was injured, they make it to the championship. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love get injured, right? They win in 6. There isn't a person alive who thinks that the Cleveland Cavaliers would not have beaten the shit out of them with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving playing in that championship, okay? No one thinks that they would have won that, all right? Even Golden State fans, you fooling yourself, you lying to yourself if you think that the Cleveland wouldn't have beat them and it would have changed all of history, all right? So it is what it is. LeBron James does the best he can. He carries them 6 games, but they lose to Golden State. Steph Curry, their supposed best player, doesn't even win the MVP of the finals. It goes to Iguodala, which was weird to me, right? So it is what it is. Okay, then the next year they come back. They win 73 games. They have the best record ever in the regular season, but they lose to LeBron James. They lose 3. They were up 3-1 and they lose. Okay, so that was like a mark on them. Even though they think that, hey, we would have won if Draymond Green hadn't have been ejected, but he was ejected. Stop getting technical fouls, fool. That's on you. He had the most technical fouls up to that point. If he had 15 technical fouls. At 16 technical fouls, you get suspended for a game. He was at 15, 16, he got suspended. That's on him. Shut your mouth, maybe, right? So he cost them that championship with his mouth and his actions, okay? So it is what it is. So they lose, right? Which then the next year they get Kevin Durant, which was like ridiculous. So nobody, like, it was just like no competition. LeBron James did the best he could, and it is what it is. Golden State Warriors win those 2 championships, but 0 people outside of Golden State respect it. No one respects those championships. 0 people respect them, okay? So now you have Kevin Durant decides, well, I'm leaving. I'm going to go do it someplace else because he was getting so much hate. And then whatever happened with, he's a runner. He didn't want to work it out with Russell Westbrook, so he left. He didn't want to work it out with Golden State, so he left. Now here he is with the Nets, and he gets waxed. They can't put it together. They can't put it together. Somebody's injured. He can't carry the team. Then they get into the playoffs. He's got Kyrie. Ben Simmons not playing. James Harden runs away, and then they get waxed by Boston 4-0. So now you're looking at it like, well, is Kevin Durant the greatest player of all time? Maybe, maybe not. So this is what I'm saying about Golden State's story. What I like about it is this. Golden State is trying to show, hey, we are for real champs. It wasn't just because of Kevin Durant that we won the championship. We are champions. Our system brings the best out of people, and we're going to prove it by winning the championship this year. If Golden State wins the championship this year, it elevates all those players, it elevates Golden State, and it actually, to me, legitimizes those 2 championships with Kevin Durant because, one, look what Jordan Poole is doing. They got a G League player looking like an all-star. So that system makes people look better than they are. Now, Kevin Durant is a great player, but now we've seen him by himself. He was having some choke job games in Oklahoma City against Golden State when they lost. They were up 3-1 against Miami in the championship, right? And then now look against Boston. And you know what I mean? And then even against the Bucks last year, there was a couple games where he just didn't have it. So maybe he's not the greatest player that we thought he was, and maybe he needed Golden State to really shine. And the Golden State's going to prove that. If they win the championship, it will legitimize their whole legacy. And Stephen Curry needs to be the MVP of the finals. And that will even legitimize his career as being one of the greatest players of all time, already the greatest shooter of all time. I like that Golden State story. I like it. I like the drama of it. I like it a lot. I want to see that happen. I want to see them because they're trying to do this. They're trying to do this for themselves too because even they want to prove to Kevin Durant and the rest of the league, nah, man, we're champ. We made you a champion. You didn't make us a champion. We made you a champion. That's what they're trying to prove right now. Because we can see, like I said, Kevin Durant ain't making nobody a champion, man. He may never win a championship again in his career. And we're going to look back on this, and if they win, this will legitimize that. I would like to see Golden State, Boston in the championship, and then whoever wins, I'll be happy. I love both those stories. There we go. I did it. That's my NBA talk for this week. NBA talk. All right, now we're going into some spoilers, some thoughts. I want to go into, I saw Doctor Strange. I saw the Doctor Strange, man, and I want to talk about it. I tweeted about it, put it on Instagram. Rest in peace, MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. What do I mean by that? Okay, not a fan of this movie. I did not like it. Now, let me put it in context, okay? So you're talking about 13 years of maybe like 75% hit rate of movies leading up to Avengers Endgame. You know, I wasn't a fan of all the movies in that went through this process. You know, I thought the first Captain America was it was just okay. You know, I thought Iron Man 3 terrible. I thought Thor 2 Dark World, could have done without it. There was just some movies along the way leading to Endgame that were just like so enjoyable. Maybe saw them once and I was okay with it. Even some of the Avengers movies, like Avengers Age of Ultron, could have done without it. But you know what? It led up to this spectacular ending. The whole thing had a purpose. The MCU had a purpose. It was defeating Thanos. All the stories were connected. Our minds were like, this is great. I love all this. We were invested in every character. We knew even the smallest characters we knew. It branched off into other movies. It was just great. Like the whole thing was great. I'm glad I lived through it. It was a spectacular time in movie making for superhero movies. And it was fantastic. Thumbs up. Big woo-woos for the cinematic the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But after that, it is now dead. I'm sorry. It does not have the same luster. They tried. We got the Shang-Chi movie where they incorporated the Doctor Strange guy, you know? The Asian guy came into that movie and they tried to imply that, something big is coming, right? Not invested, okay? And Shang-Chi was like, it was okay, all right? It was okay. Okay, then you have Eternals, the woke Eternals with the woke casting, but you know what though? I've actually watched Eternals like 7 or 8 times because it's on Disney Plus, and you know it's an enjoyable movie. Like I can keep watching it. I like the characters, I like the story, but is it connected to the MCU? It seems like it's its own universe. Now, they connected Blade, even though they didn't show him, but Blade is in the Eternals in the end. You hear his voice in the end credit thing. So is that some sort of connection? But it's not the same. It seems disjointed. It doesn't seem really connected. And I like that when all this stuff was connected, leading to a purpose. That's why the MCU is dead. Now, cut to Doctor Strange. Now, in the first Doctor Strange, at the end of Doctor Strange, in the post credits, they had that one guy. Where is it? What's his name? Let me go to my Doctor Strange IMDb page. Oh, let me get it up here. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. Where is it? 2000. Here he is. Okay, so. Yeah, so when you look at the cast of Doctor Strange, God, what was that guy's name? Oh yeah, I can never say his name. Oh, you know what? Let me go to that for the people that are watching. For all you people that aren't, watching the. If you're listening, his name is this guy, Chiwetley. I don't know how to say his name, but he played Mordor. Anyway, in the first movie, if you were this guy. Chiwetel, how do you say his name? Chiwetel. What a weird name. How can you be a star with that name? But that guy's in a lot of stuff. He's a great actor. I love this guy. But in the original Doctor Strange, if you remember, at the end credit, they were showing him, he's now anti-magic. And he's like, oh, we got to get rid of magic in the universe. Okay. You know what I mean? And that's what he was doing. You know what I mean? And so then, but they never that storyline never went to fruition. They never really dealt with that. They never really went for it. You know what I mean? Let me do another poll. Is the MCU dead? Yes or no? And so now but Doctor Strange was so great with Iron Man, Cumberbatch and what's his face. They had such a great chemistry that they kind of like forgot that storyline and they went into this. So then the Spider-Man cartoon, the multiverse Spider-Man cartoon, really like that storyline of multiverse was like so popular that the MCU people were like, you know what? We got to take this on. So then they did the Spider-Man, you know what I mean? They did the Spider-Man multiverse movie that just came out, No Way Home, and it was spectacular. It was fantastic. But that wasn't really an MCU movie, even though Doctor Strange was in it. And they found a way to actually remove Peter Parker, from the MCU if they wanted to. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think it's back to Sony, and they're going to make their own thing. But it was sort of connected, but not. But that was a great standalone movie, that Spider-Man movie, right? So what's up with Doctor Strange? So then they're hyping up this new Doctor Strange movie. So here we are. So this is what I'm saying. I say all that to say that this Doctor Strange movie it's not really connected to anything. If you've watched the TV series, so they had the Scarlet Witch TV series, which I thought with Vision and Wanda, which was so great. It was so good. So they sort of make reference to that. But my problem was this wasn't a great movie. It wasn't great storytelling. It was still all over the place. And they also picked up in the story, to me, an hour in. Because you didn't really know why, spoiler alert. Like I said, this is spoilers. Why is Wanda the bad guy? It's not they didn't really explain it enough. If you saw the Wanda series, maybe you kind of understand. But to me, in this movie, it couldn't be a standalone movie. They didn't explain it enough. And it just wasn't enough. I didn't believe it. And so you got Wanda being the bad guy, and then you got this multiverse traveler, and then it's just a story that I was like, what is this connected to? What does this have to do with the Eternals? What does this have to do with Shang-Chi? What does this have to do with what are you doing to keep it all together? There was no purpose, it was so disjointed, and I didn't think it was a good standalone movie. Now, was it an enjoyable movie by itself? Maybe. Great action. Cumberbatch is a great actor. But to me, I'm so invested in the MCU universe to see where it's going next that I thought they were still going to do that. And they let us know that they're not. They're not doing that. It doesn't seem. And then they just have this end scene where you're like, okay, who's that character? What does that have to do with anything? Maybe they're going to bring it all together in the, if they do an Eternals 2, which I think they are, maybe they'll bring all this together with the Blade movie, with the dude from Game of Thrones, the guy that was in Eternals. I think they're doing something with him, maybe a TV series. But I don't know. At this point, I like the TV series, the stuff they're doing on Disney Plus, Marvel. I like that more than I like this standalone movie. I thought Moon Knight was a really great series. I enjoyed Loki. Loki is great. How about this? Where are the time cops, man? Where's those things? And then they did this thing in this Doctor Strange where they're trying to do more multiverse stuff. Where here's the X-Men and here's Fantastic Four. I didn't like none of them. Okay. Patrick Stewart seemed old. He seemed checked out. He didn't really seem like he wanted to be Charles Xavier anymore. I think after the Wolverine movie, he was done. But they probably said, hey, man, we'll give you millions of dollars. You want to do this? And he was like, okay. He didn't seem invested. I don't like Jim from The Office being Fantastic Four guy. And it just, I didn't like it. It didn't make me excited for a Fantastic Four movie. It didn't make me excited for bringing the X-Men in. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, y'all. It was, like I said, a lot of action, thrilling, but it was disjointed and not connected. And I just didn't like it, and I'm disappointed. And that's why I think the MCU is dead. The MCU as we know it is dead because it's too disjointed. It's not connected. There's no through line story. It's just kind of like standalone movies, And maybe next time I'll discuss who do we think's going to win moving forward, DC or Marvel? Did you like Batman or did you like Doctor Strange? Standalone movies, because now we know that in the DC universe, the Flash movie's coming out, and I heard that Ben Affleck is going to reprise his role as Batman in that movie. So that stuff's still going on. So they're going to have Wonder Woman, Aquaman. They still trying to connect sort of over there. And I like those. I think Aquaman was a great movie. I thought Aquaman was a fine standalone movie. I thought the first Wonder Woman was pretty good. Second one, but that dude's a great actor. We'll see if this Flash movie is going to be good. And then I thought that, but everything else was just kind of like whatever. Justice League, they dropped the ball. So, who's going to win moving forward? I don't know. But for a long time, Marvel Universe was in the lead. Marvel was on top. And now, after, then they're going to do a second Batman and hope this Joker's going to come in. And you had the Riddler. I mean, it was dark. It was, it was too long. And overall, it was an enjoyable movie. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. I think Marvel, right now at the top, is the Marvel TV series. I think the TV portion of Marvel is winning. I like that. I like Loki. I liked Black Hawk. Is that how you say it? Hawkeye, Black Hawk. I liked Hawkeye. I thought that was a great series. I enjoyed, as a standalone movie, Black Widow. I thought that female superhero, from a female perspective and how they made it, I thought they did a great job with that. And I like that character. What's her face in that movie? Who plays Black Widow's sister? She was great in the Hawkeye series, and I hope they bring her into the universe. I wish that, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why, I don't know what they're doing yet. So I'm not gonna have judgment, but as of right now, I feel like it's dead. I'm looking at the poll right now. I put up a poll: is the MCU dead? And right now, it's 55% say no, 45% say yes, with 94 votes. So only some of you agree with me. Like I say, man, this is just looking at Doctor Strange. This movie to me could have been a bridge to, bringing these other movies that have already come out into, like, show us where this is going, because they implied that they're connected. Like I said, the dude from Doctor Strange that plays, what's that character? Who's the Asian guy? What does he play? He plays Wong. Yeah. That guy. He was in Shang-Chi, implying that the Doctor Strange universe is connected to that. What happened to that? You know what I mean? Like, what happened? I think they dropped the ball. That's what I feel. And I see in the chat too, it just was missing something. Doctor Strange 2 was missing something. I can't put my finger on it, but I know it was missing something. So hopefully with movies that are coming out, they'll bring it back together and we'll see what happens. But that's how I feel about that. All right. All right. Next up, big spoiler. So if you don't want to watch, if you don't want to hear about it, then this is your time to leave. But let's talk about the end of Ozarks. That's where we're at now. And if you want to leave, thank you for watching Riffin with Griffin. But there's been enough time. I'm not going to, hold back. Ozarks, 4 seasons. This was, overall, this was a really great series. Jason Bateman did a great job as the creator and director in some of the episodes and actor. I loved these characters. These characters were just so complicated and just like, they're just not good. They weren't good people. And even though they were trying to be good people, I just, it was great. I thought season 1 was really good. I thought season 2 was okay. Season 3 I wasn't a huge fan of, but season 4 I thought they ended it great. So if you don't know what Ozarks is about, it's about this guy who he's a money launderer, and his partner was caught stealing from the Mexican cartel, and then they were going to kill him. And then at the same time, his wife is cheating on him, and she's a monster. That lady did such a great job at Laura Linney. She did a fantastic job as being just a terrible character, and she did such a great job. Shout out to her. So his wife, so he's in this disjointed relationship. He's also a money launderer, and he's trying to be like a good guy, but he's not. He makes bad choices, but he's brilliant at what he does. So then his family has to move to the Ozarks in Missouri to launder money for the Mexican cartel, or they're going to be dead. While they're in Missouri, there's like a family of drug dealers who they have their own opium business there. And then so now there's a fight between the Mexican cartel, him laundering money, and then the locals, and then one of the locals, the girl that plays Ruth, I think that's Sophia. Wait, let me get their names right. Who plays Ruth? What's her name? What's her name that plays? She was also in that. I don't know what her damn name is. How come I can't see the cat? Wait, I'm on IMDb and it's not showing me the cast right. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. No, that's not her. That's the daughter, the girl that played the daughter. Why is she like listed as like high on the bill? Like, what are you talking about? That girl was just okay. Let's see. What is the girl's name who plays Ruth? Guys, I can't. They're not showing her. They're not showing her picture right here. Oh, here we go. Is it Julie? Oh, yeah, Julie Garner. Oh, man, I love her. She's so good. Like, let me go to so you can see. Let me go to the screen capture part. Yeah, this chick right here, Julie Garner. And she was also in that movie, that other Netflix show, Inventing Anna, where she was great as this, like, I think I reviewed that show too. But anyway, so he also meets Ruth, and she's like this like country bumpkin girl, but she's brilliant. You know what I mean? She's like a career criminal. She comes from a criminal family, and but she's got upside, and Jason Bateman's character sees it. He knows that she could be more than what she is, and he takes her under her wing. And they have this really nice sort of like father-daughter relationship throughout the series. And it gets contentious, and, it's a really great, like, that's a really great relationship. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed it. So in the final season, spoilers, okay, I'm telling you right now, it's spoilers. In the final season, this family, Jason Bateman and his wife, they're just so bad with each other, and they're bad with everyone. They're really terrible people. It really just comes out that they're not good people, and they're not good parents. The son becomes a money launderer himself. He starts working for Ruth and the other drug dealer lady. So the son is like this like upstart little 15-year-old that needed to get his ass beat, right? They should have whooped him. And then the daughter, who's trying to be a pleaser, she's trying to please the mom and the dad, and but even she is like about to be 18, so she'll have her own life, and even she's a little bit of a monster too. Like they've infected their children with this, you know what I mean? And they're showing that. And so the first part of the season is like, Ruth trying to get from underneath them and do her own thing. And then her cousin, who's like in this weird, he's like this young boy who's like in this relationship with this older woman who's like this big time drug lord. She owns all this property in the Ozarks, but she's like running the opium business there. And they have this weird relationship, and they get married. But then somebody in the Mexican cartel, this new guy in the cartel, kills them. And that was, oh my God, it was such a cliffhanger of the first half of the season. And so now Ruth is out for revenge, and she gets her revenge. She kills this drug lord, right? But the drug lord's mom is the sister of the main drug lord who's in prison, and then Jason Bateman and his wife are working with, he plays Marty, Marty Bird. So the Birds are working with this drug leader that's in prison, and it's this whole thing, and the FBI is involved. It's like really intricate story and all the characters. But anyways, I just want to get to the end, okay? I just want to get to the end, and this is a spoiler. So like I said, I've said it like 8 times. So if you don't want to watch, please stop watching now so you don't get the spoiler of this. I love how this ended. This was a great season finale to me, and I'm going to tell you why. It's hard to do a good, like when you have characters that you really like Sopranos, that was a weird ending, but you had to end it that way. Game of Thrones, they didn't end that great. I think that was a terrible final season. But sometimes it's hard to end a series. So this is leading up to the birds are trying to get out from underneath the FBI and the drug cartel. They just want to be free. So they're starting this foundation so they can get into politics and have their own power and money. And they've been conniving and scheming with politicians throughout this whole thing. At the same time, trying to work with the Colombian drug lords and, with they have this casino where they're laundering money. Ruth swoops in and because her cousin was married to the drug lord lady and they both died and he was married to her, Ruth inherited everything plus a controlling interest in the casino. So she made her play to like legitimize herself. And I loved it. I was like, Ruth did it. Okay. But in the end, Ruth's the one that shot the drug lord. So the sister of the drug lord and the mother of the one she shot, she finally figures out that it was Ruth. So the final episode, and it was great. They're at this party. The birds have finally found a way to win. They finally found a way to get from underneath this. Their foundation is they're gonna make them power players in politics, and they're gonna be like the Kennedys. And they've finally done it. They've got from underneath the FBI and everything. And then the drug lord lady, she comes over and she's like, their business partner, the one that owns this pharmaceutical company that like needed the heroin for their whatever, right? She cracks because the drug lord lady was like, if you don't tell me the truth, that what happened to my son. So she cracks because she was there and she's like, Ruth did it. It was Ruth, And then like the drug lord lady, and Marty cares about Ruth. You could tell. Marty cares about Ruth. And the drug lord lady says to her like henchman, you watch these two. If they warn her, I want you to kill the kids. She goes, see those kids over there? That's their kids. If these two even make a move towards warning her, kill them. That's what she was implied. So now they're sitting here and they're looking at each other like, what are we going to do? Like they care about Ruth. The wife, not so much. But I know Marty cares about Ruth. Man. And then the fucking drug lord lady goes to see Ruth. And Ruth is a bad bitch. You know what I mean? And she's standing there and she's like, oh, how'd you find out? And then the drug lord lady tells her it was Claire Shaw, And then Ruth is looking at it. Ruth just stands there and she's like, you know what? I don't regret it. Because your son was a murdering bitch. And now I see where he got it from. She went out like a G. And then they fucking shoots her. And then now you got the birds back at their place. And they're just like, they won. But at what cost, man? At what cost? In my mind, I was like, they can't get away. I hate when people like that get away. They don't deserve it. So another side story is there's this cop that became a detective. And he was a cop, but he had a drug problem. He stole some cocaine, so he had to become a private detective. And he's been on the case trying to find their brother, trying to find the brother of the wife. And the brother was killed by the drug cartel because of her. He was bipolar and he was going to get them all killed. And she made the choice to give up her brother for her family. So they had the ashes of the brother in a vase. The cop guy figures it out. So now Ruth is dead. They're back at their house. They've won. And they're sitting there and the cop's there now. He's a cop again because they actually got his job back to get rid of him because he was close to messing up their thing, right? So now he's got the vase and he knows the remains are in here. He knows it. And he's like, y'all can't win. And they're like, we'll give you money. We'll give you anything you want. And he's like, I don't want the money. He just goes, people like you can't win. And then the next scene is like the son, the 15-year-old son. He comes out with a shotgun and he's pointing at the guy. And the parents are looking at the guy. And they both look at their son like, yeah. Fade to black. Shotgun. Whew. And I was like, wow. Like these horrible people, their son is now a murderer. Like the son knew. The son's like, well, we got to kill this motherfucker because we got to win. The mom finally made amends with the kids, admitted that she's a monster. I'm sorry I tried to control you, but your uncle is dead because of me. You know, oh man, the father who is terrible. Her father, who is a terrible guy, which is probably why she's terrible. Ruth, once again, steps in because Marty bribed her. Marty's like, look, if you don't get my kids to not leave with her, because the father was trying to take the kids, but he didn't really want the kids. He just wanted to hurt his daughter. And then Ruth comes in with a gun to the hotel room, and she's like, she first of all, she tricks him. You know, she brings drinks, and then she gets him to admit that he don't care about these kids, you know? And then she pulls the gun out. She's like, I want you to admit that to the kids. And then she shoots the gun, and she's like, I'm going to blow your dick off if you don't tell these kids the truth. So the kids now go see the mom, who checked herself into an insane asylum because she was going to lose her kids. And then she comes clean with the kids. And they go, all right, Mom. They don't say that, but it's like a thing where they go, you know what, Mom? We're with you. You know? They turned. We're with you. Man. It was just a spectacular ending to the series. I like the psychology of it. This is just my opinion. Tell me in the comments if you agree or disagree. Sorry if you got spoiled, but I told you from the beginning, it's in the title, spoilers. I loved it. I thought Ozarks was a great series. I'm glad Netflix let it go 4 seasons. I love getting invested in characters, and it was actually a well done. It was so well done. Oh, man. And I can't believe that in that universe that the birds got away with it. So I almost want to see like a sequel to the series. It's like 5 years later, like the kids are older and they're just totally messed up or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who knows what happens to the drug industry? Like, does Marty go and run the cartel with what happens? It's like, oh man, it was so good. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. I totally appreciate you guys for being here. You know, where's my thing? There we go. Let me turn this off. You know, thanks for being here as always. Just another, episode of Riffin with Griffin. So, make sure you subscribe, share, all that stuff. Check out my dates. I'm actually coming to. Where am I coming? Let's go up. Let's pull up the website that I still need to fix and work on. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yes, I'm coming to. So May 21st, if you're in the LA area, I'm gonna be with Creed Bratton from The Office. He's doing some music. I'm doing comedy at the Mint on Pico, the Arlington Improv in Dallas. May 26th through the 29th. Come check me out there, Arlington. And then Comedy Off Broadway, Lexington, Kentucky, June 2nd to the 4th. Come check me out there if you want to watch me live. I really enjoy doing comedy. So I really appreciate you guys watching the show, being here, sharing, subscribing. Make sure you check me out on Twitch. I'm on Twitch daily. Erik Griffin Gaming. So come check me out there. I also put the videos up on YouTube, Erik Griffin Gaming. So once again, thanks for being here. See you next week. Griffin with Griffin.